Hi, I'm your host Emma, and this is Lashing Out and Nailing Life. You might notice two things are a little different today. One, someone is missing, and that's Jade. And two, if you're used to watching us, this is an audio-only episode. Fun, right? We wanted to keep things simple and still show up for you guys instead of skipping another episode. We've both been super busy with our schedules lately. Jade just moved into a new space, which is so exciting for her. And she's also been a little on and off sick the past few weeks. So between that and everything else going on in our lives, it's been a little harder than usual for us to sit down and film together. But I didn't want to leave you guys without an episode, especially since it's been a little while. So I wanted to hop on here, talk to you guys, and do a little bit of a life update, some housekeeping, and kind of a chat. And honestly, I feel like this is a really good episode too if you're new here. This is kind of a where to start moment. Lashing Out and Nailing Life is really just about having honest conversations around business, the beauty industry, personal life, and everything that comes with trying to balance all of that at the same time. We talk about things like burnout, pricing, boundaries, client relationships, marketing, all of the things that people don't really always talk about openly, but it actually matters when you're trying to build something sustainable. But we also have episodes where we just sit, sip, and yap and talk about life. So it's a mix of education, real conversations, and just being honest about what this lifestyle actually looks like. And if you're someone who's in the beauty industry, running a business, or honestly just trying to figure things out in your 20s, there's probably something here that's going to resonate with you. Lately, I feel like we're entering one of those seasons where everything just starts happening all at once. Work gets busier, schedules fill up, and there's more commitments, expectations, and just more going on in general. For me personally, I'll be going out of town quite a bit in July. We have a wedding coming up that we're both a part of. There's also a bachelorette trip, and I'll be gone for the 4th. And it just makes everything feel a little bit more full and slightly overwhelming. And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough is how normal that is. There's this idea that everything should always be consistent, perfectly planned, especially when you're running a business. But real life doesn't work like that. There are seasons where you're able to give more, and there are seasons where things feel a little bit more chaotic. And instead of fighting it, I think it's more important that we learn how to work with it, to give ourselves a little bit of grace instead of feeling like we're falling behind. And I think this actually ties into something Jade and I have been talking about and working on that I'm super excited about, which is our event in October. This is something we've talked about for a while, but now we're really starting to build it into something intentional. And I think I want to take a second to actually explain what we want this to be because it's not just a typical event. We don't want this to be something where you just show up, sit, listen, and leave. We want this to feel interactive. We want this to feel intentional, and we want this to actually be useful. We're planning conversations and panels around things that people in this industry are genuinely struggling with right now. Things like burnout and sustainability, how you can actually build a career that doesn't drain you. Pricing and money, how to charge in a way that supports your life and not just keeps you busy. Marketing, what actually works, especially if you feel overwhelmed or feel like you've plateaued. Client relationships and boundaries, because I think that's something so many people deal with that isn't always talked about in a way that we can learn from. And just the reality of running a business behind the scenes, not the polished version or the social media version, but the real version. Because I think that's something missing a lot of the time. Everything online looks perfect or easy, and even sometimes when people try to open up about things, it's still a polished form of the struggle. Everyone looks like they have it figured out. Everyone looks successful, and that's just not real. We really want to create a space where people feel comfortable, where you can ask questions, have real conversations, and actually walk away with something that helps you. And I also want to say this because I think that this is something that stops a lot of people from putting themselves in a room like this. You don't have to be a certain level to be there. You don't have to be fully booked. You don't have to be making a certain amount of money. You don't have to feel like you have everything figured out. If anything, those are the people we want in the room because those are the people who are actually actively trying to grow. And on the other side of that, if you're someone who has experience, this is also a space where you can contribute. You can be a part of a panel, share your knowledge, speak, or just be a part of the conversation because the industry grows when people share, not when people gatekeep. And that's something Jade and I both care about a lot. We want this to feel welcoming, elevated, and actually impactful. So if you've even thought about being a part of something like this, whether that's attending, speaking, or helping, I really want to encourage you to fill out the form. Even if you're unsure, even if you're nervous, even if you feel like you're not ready, because most of the time, that's exactly when you should do it. So I'll have that linked in the description. And there's something else I've been working on promoting that kind of ties into all of this, which is my marketing book. This is something I created because I saw such a gap in the industry when it came to marketing, especially for beginners. There is so much information out there, and a lot of it feels overwhelming and unrealistic. And I get asked all the time how I do it and how I make it look so easy. It can feel like you need to be doing everything all at once, posting consistently, following every trend, and doing all of the strategies. And most people just don't need that. Most people just need the basics. So this book is really focused on simplifying marketing and helping you understand how to actually use Instagram and a few other social media platforms in a way that makes sense. How to show up, how to be consistent, how to do it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming and is sustainable. It's definitely more geared towards beginners or people who feel stuck and don't know where to start. But even if you feel like you've plateaued, sometimes going back to the basics is what actually helps you move forward. Because it's not always about doing more. It's about doing things more intentionally, which, as you know, is always our word of the day. So if that's something you've been struggling with, I'll have that linked as well. As far as what's coming next, our next episode is going to be about burnout and how burnout isn't failure, it's feedback. So if you have anything specifically you want us to touch on, our DMs are always open. And I think that topic is something that a lot of people need to hear, especially going into busy season. We're also going to be making some small changes to how we film and structure our episodes, just because we love to keep improving and we want to make sure we're giving you guys something that actually feels valuable. Now I want to end probably our shortest episode by saying thank you. Thank you for being here, for listening, for supporting us, and for growing with us. And if you haven't already, this is the perfect time to go back and listen to some of our past episodes. A lot of our episodes tend to cover both business and personal life within a topic, even if it starts as one or the other. So there's always something you can take away and apply. So if you've missed any, now is a great time to catch up. And we'll be back very soon with more educational, informative, and also entertaining episodes. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!